All right, ladies and gentlemen, Marco DC dollars. Marco DC just wants to say that, when you are looking to meet people or you are looking to date people, you really have to go with someone that you have chemistry with and that's interested, right? And I think we all know this deep down, but there's sometimes lingering thoughts about whether the person's going to be interested in you if they're not showing any signs. And yes, it's true. It's possible that someone that doesn't show any signs ever, doesn't even like your gender, could end up with you at some point. But instead of focusing on that in the present time, leave that person alone. And I mean, you don't have to do anything. Be free. You can do whatever you want. Like today there was a couple that I saw, and I was like, okay, well they're a couple, so I'll leave them be. And then I was like walking by them, and I'm like, wait, I don't want to stand here because I don't want to be rude, because I'm not interested. The guy was good looking, and I was like, well, it was sort of. He wasn't my type exactly, but he was decent. And so I was like, well, I'm going to let them be. But I'm like, letting them be doesn't mean that you have to really force yourself to show no signs or whatever. They're into each other. They're not going to focus on you. They probably don't even notice you, right? So, I mean, really, you know, you have to be free and able to do what you want. If someone doesn't show any signs of interest, or someone doesn't act like they're interested in me, or someone doesn't act like they want to spend time with me, or they're not even talking to me, or they're with maybe they are are with their friend, but they just don't want to ask while their friend is there, right? So if they're not showing any signs, whatever, then I'm not going to be interested in them at the time, and maybe they'll show signs later. But I'm only going to be interested in people that are showing signs that actually want to be in a relationship or dating, friends with benefits, because that's obviously makes sense, right? We all know that you can only be with someone if they're making an effort and they want to actually spend time with you. You obviously can't date someone that's not caring or doesn't even sit with you or doesn't talk to you ever, right? But and of course we all want to. There's somebody we might like that never shows any interest, doesn't talk to us, whatever, and of course we're going to want them to go out with us. But I personally am very good about leaving people be. If someone doesn't want to be with me, or someone doesn't show any interest, or they're married, I'm going to pretty much leave them alone. Assume they're married and happy, or assume they're not interested. Assume this and that, and that's the better way to be. I mean, some people really try, and then they date them, and then the person is married, and they date them, and then they're cheating, and then the relationship ends, and it's terrible. I don't want to go through all that. I don't want somebody to get a divorce. I mean, if people get a divorce and then they date me, sure, but I don't want somebody to go through a divorce situation because of me and break the whole family down. I mean, if somebody really is interested in a person and they get a divorce and then they date me, that's fine. I personally would prefer not even that, but if that happens, it happens. But anyway, guys, I really don't like to do these analytical videos on these kinds of things. People that really matter are your friends and family and your dates and your partners. It really doesn't matter that this girl doesn't like you, or this girl's saying negative things, or this girl's in a relationship and saying negative things because her husband is very possessive. Like, does that all matter? No, it doesn't, right? What really matters is the essentials, being with people that you care about, knowing that if someone is not around, not talking to you, they're not going to show any interest, then you know to leave them alone, right? Now, like I said, I like to be asked, okay? So if you have a hard time asking me or whatever, it doesn't have to be the first day you meet me or whatever. You can ask me later on. Some people might think I'm not interested or show no signs of interest. 'Cause I'm very popular, so I find that people, once they see me, they just want to be around me. And I'm like, wait, I can't, not always, but sometimes. So But the thing is, oh yeah, so I like to be asked, okay? So I don't like to be someone that doesn't get asked. I really like to be asked out. For me, that means a lot more than, and for a lot of people, for me actually, for me, it's been very common that I would do when I was younger, I would always do the asking. I was the one who always asked. But I like to be asked. I really like to be asked by a guy or a girl. I like to be asked. Um, a lot of people have a hard time with asking me. I'm very intimidating. I do so much. I work so hard. I'm very physical, very active. I spend a lot of time, you know, uh, doing doing lots of exercise and dieting, and I'm also very creative. I'm also very talented. I'm also going to be a huge channel. So I find people have a hard time with asking because they think, well, isn't Marco going to be the one to ask because Marco is the one with the channel. Marco is the one with the um, with all the skills and abilities and the great looks, you know. And I mean, my partner will have the same things, but they might be like, he or she might be like, Marco is the one to ask. He's so brave. He's so this. He's so that. He's so confident. It's nothing to do with confidence. I can easily ask. I have no problem asking. But I prefer someone ask me because then I know directly they're interested in me and they want to spend time with me and they want to date me. If I don't get asked, I might do the asking, which is fine, but I don't like doing that. I prefer not to, only because I like to know the person is really genuinely into me, and they have to ask me, not show signs physically, not show like tapping or swaying side to side. They have to directly ask me because I personally like that better. I don't like the whole, oh, let's sway side to side, That doesn't interest me because that's not a clear cut way to ask. And I mean, to some people it is clear cut, but for me, I like to be asked. I like to be asked directly. I like to make sure the person shows their interest so that I know they are interested in me. Everyone knows I'm bisexual. Everyone knows I like both men and women. So both can ask. I like men and women to ask me. I like to see who I'm being asked by and know that I'm interested or not. Anyway, thanks for watching. Bye now.